Well, hello, my friends, and welcome back to another episode of Legacy Farmer, the podcast. This is your host, JC Young, and today's topic and discussion is this: God has a plan. So one of the members reached out to me yesterday, and they're going through kind of a difficult time inside of just life. These members, they run a successful trucking company, a successful hog operation. They've been extremely successful since day one because they keep track of their numbers. They're good people. They take care of take care of each other, take care of their family, take care of their team, and they're just all around really good business owners. So the problem that they're reaching out to me on, though, is nothing involving finances, right? The problem is they feel like they're stuck. They're stuck in this area of just being in limbo and not sure which direction to go with the business and things like that. So they recently ran into a problem with one of their truck drivers leaving and moving on and going and taking a different position somewhere else. And that kind of put them in a bind, which has kind of sparked this entire conversation and me actually presenting all of this to you inside of this podcast. And the member reached out to me and they've been consistent and they've been comfortable for the past 15 years where they're at with their trucking operation, their hog operation and everything. And within their trucking operation, they've consistently had, 2 drivers, max of 3 drivers inside of their operation. And, they've been inside of Legacy Farmer now for a couple years and they've been great customers. If they're listening to this podcast, I hope they know how much I appreciate them and value my conversations with them because they are just really good people, as is everyone inside of our network and every family that we have here. But, the member reached out to me and he's like, I'm just really struggling here because I don't want to be put in this position anymore to where he had a person leave. So now, him being the owner of the trucking company has to be back in the truck and working and, driving all the time and everything now until they can get somebody else in line. And, he was looking to me and asking, what should I do here and things like that. Well, I've been pushing this couple to expand and really grow that operation, not significantly, but maybe, get to the points where you have 4 or 5 truck drivers or whatever that is, just to free up this family's time. Guys, at the end of the day, I think all of us as business owners, ultimately, we want to grow a business to support our family, to support, our team and their families as well. But ultimately, we want to get to the point where we have time, right? Time to do what we want, when we want, and everything like that. Whereas this family and this person individually has always just kind of been used to working in the operation and doing the work and everything. Like I said, they've been extremely successful. So, but at the same time, though, I want to free up time for this man so he can get back to spending more time with his family and have the freedom to do what they want to do and really just enjoy the life that they've built. Because, they've done some amazing things and everything. And I want them to enjoy that more. So anyways, reached out to me and he's trying to figure out, what does this mean? Like right now I'm in this, hard period because this guy left. Now I'm back in the truck and working more and I'm stressed out about this and trying to find another driver and everything like that. And, I responded to this individual and just talked about, guys, every challenge and pain that comes into our life, it's really, when I look at it now and what my experience has taught me, is it's God trying to give us a sign. And that sign is to follow his plan. If you are facing some type of pain or challenge inside of your business or your life right now, take it as a sign from God that, hey, something needs to change and I need to get uncomfortable here and I need to move. And like I said, this couple, they've been comfortable for a lot of years and what they've done has consistently worked. But now I'm just kind of challenging his perspective on this situation that's happening right now. Is like, look at it from the point of view is like, okay, is God telling me to do something? Is God telling me to expand the operation? Is God telling me to take the risk and take the jump of hiring 4 to 5 truck drivers and buying a couple more trucks and expanding? Because the work is there. The opportunity is easily there. And that's what I've told them the past 18 months to 2 years inside of our conversations. And they've known it's there. But guys, let's be honest. Like when you're in business, it's scary to take a jump. I'm scared to take my business to the next level. You hit to a certain point and a certain level inside of your business, and then you get, you systemize things, you get your processes in order, and then it's pretty easy to get comfortable there. And you're like, man, things are working really well. And I'm scared if I try to go to the next level, I'm just going to screw things up. And you most likely will. But the only way to build a massively successful business is to first deal with the chaos and the disorganization that you create on the way there, right? You go to one level, and when you take that next level up, there's inevitably going to be problems and challenges that arise, and you are going to have to go back and go into cleanup, right? You create this huge mess, and now you got to go back and clean it up before you can take the next step to the next level. And that's just kind of what I've seen as kind of the growth in business. And anyways, we all have this fear of trying to go to that next level. And again, guys, it's just business owners are constantly required to fall back on faith. That's the way I look at it. Now, I'm not taking away from other people in personal life and stuff like that too. People people inside of their personal life face challenges a lot of time. And yeah, we're required to fall back on faith, whether you're having, family issues or whatever that may be. My experience has been mostly having faith inside of business, because when I left the banking industry back in 2016, if you've been following me for a long time now, I didn't have a plan. You know that I had $6,000 in my name and a wife and 2 kids at home. And I was taking this massive jump to try to find, just a better life for my family, for me, and just to do something that really mattered. And it took me, a couple of years to figure it out, and I struggled, and it was challenging. And each time I went through massive challenges, that's when I really learned to fall back on faith and to really trust that, hey, God has a plan for me, and there is something here right now. I may not be able to see it right now because I'm going through this challenge and I'm going through this struggle, but I had to look at it and just really try to trust and have faith in God that, hey, a month from now, 3 months from now, 6 months from now, I'm going to see exactly why I went through that. And every time that turned out to be true. Now, sometimes it was a year. It was a year until I saw, hey, the pain I went through a year ago was meant for this moment right now. And you just have to, that perspective is developed over time. And your faith is going to be consistently tested. At least that's what I found. And each level of business that you want to go up to, God is going to consistently test you. And that's okay. And it's meant to, because I feel like at the same time, he's teaching us just to trust in him and trust his path and trust his leadership and guidance inside of our lives. When I go through my daily gratitude every morning, one thing I'm always grateful for is God's leadership and guidance inside of my life. It doesn't matter whether I'm going through a really good time or a really bad time. I feel like he's always there. I feel like he's always guiding me. He's always bringing people into my life, removing people from my life, bringing resources and knowledge and lessons and everything into my life in order to help me get to where I'm ultimately, destined to go, which is his plan. So with this customer, that's what I shared with him. And, hopefully it really just gives people faith to take that jump and to go to that next level. If this problem continues to pop up in your life and you feel like, you've been struggling with it for a year now or whatever it may be, just consider the fact that it's God telling you, hey, let's go. I got bigger plans for you. But in order for you to, really achieve those bigger plans, you first have to let go of these things that have been keeping you in comfort or keeping you where you're at. You have to let go. And that may be letting go of personal stories and personal problems. It may be letting go of family relationships, and maybe letting go of relationships you have inside of your life, and things like that too. And it goes back to that old saying, let go to grow. God will let you grow when you let go of certain things he's already given you. And we have to learn how to do that. We have to learn how to follow that. And I think inside of the ag industry, the hardest thing, I think, for all of us is to let go, because, we care about the family legacy. We care about our grandpa's farm ground that he bought and he farmed, and my dad farmed it. And, all those things go into that. But at the end of the day, we have to learn how to let go to grow. Otherwise, God will eventually just take it away and force us to. And that's kind of where this person's at right now. They've been stuck in this limbo area for a year, 2 years. And now God is kind of forcing it upon them. Hey, I've waited for you to make the decision long enough. Now I'm going to force you to make the decision. And that's okay too. And it's struggling at the time. But if you can just change your perspective and the way that you look at it and fall back on faith, just trust it and go. Just trust it and go. And at the end of the day, everything will work out. Even the people that are going through really difficult times in life right now, everything will work out in the end. I truly believe that. And, when at the beginning of this podcast, I talk about how business owners are constantly required to fall back on faith. A lot of them anyway. Guys, when I think about truly understanding faith, I didn't truly understand it until I left the banking industry. I didn't truly understand faith until I, tried to jump into entrepreneurship and start my own business, and with $0 and, people around me doubting me and stuff like that. It was during that time that I had to build the skill set of having faith. And whenever I reach a challenging time, my mind goes to, okay, just have faith, look at this for what it is. Where's God trying to lead me and guide me? Because he's always leading and guiding me. And I just have to trust him, trust his path, and take the steps forward. And if I'm not willing to take the steps forward and take action, then obviously none of those things are going to come to fruition for me, and my life's going to get pretty painful because I continue to disobey or just not trust. And eventually God forces us into taking those steps. So, those are all good things. At the end of the day, it's challenging to go through, but it's for great things to come in the long term. And if we can have that perspective on it, it completely reframes how we look at it, completely reframes, the decisions that we make and the actions that we take going forward. So my friend, Out of everything in this podcast, I hope at the end of the day that you fall back on faith. I hope if you're going through a challenging time right now, or you're just stuck in limbo like one of our customers that I was describing, where you're just not sure what to do in business, fall back on faith. At the end of the day, God has already given you signs on what direction you should take. You just have to take them. So that concludes this episode, my friend. I hope you found it valuable, and we will catch you on the next one.